Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Had a lot of things going on, and so I have not been able to make the videos for you guys, but I have been reading. I have been turning the pages for sure. I just have not taken the time out to sit and do a video. But today is the day. And so I am outside. It has been very hot. It has been like up in the hundreds. I think right now it is 102 degrees outside. And believe me, I won't be out here very long. I just came out here for the ambiance for this video. As soon as I finish, I am going back inside with the air conditioner. So let's just jump right on into this so that I can get back to the air. Okay. And this book is called Love After Love by Ingrid. I want to say Persaud. I don't know if that's right or not on the pronunciation of the last name, but this is the cover of the book. And I definitely picked it up because of this cover. I thought, oh, well, that's kind of unique. It's colorful and just eye catch. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So this story is set in Trinidad and written in what I guess is how they speak. It was a bit different, and that's why it took me longer than expected to read it. Uh, so let me go ahead and tell you about some of the characters involved, okay? So there is Betty, and she's one of the main characters, and Betty works at a local school. She is the mother of Solo and wife to Sunil. I don't know how they pronounced it. I really don't. Betty is a devoted mother and has a secret that comes out at the most undesirable of times. You could not have picked a worse time to reveal this secret. So we get to see how the secret impacts Betty and Solo's relationship. And you'll see how Betty navigates motherhood, friendships, and getting back into the dating world. And so then we have Solo, who's Betty and Sunil's son. We see a brief part of his childhood and how he navigates stepping into adulthood. We see the change in Solo and Betty's relationship and his decision to visit America. Now, we are taken along with Solo as he adjusts to American living and how he copes with the changes. Solo's account of arriving and what we would call a foreigner's outlook on their first experience of America. It was funny, but it was most definitely interesting. Then we've got Sunil, and he is in the story briefly. He was abused. No, it sounds bad, but yeah, I'm happy the author got rid of him real quick because those first few pages ticked me off. I was like, this is how we're starting the story? Okay. However, his presence lingers and has an impact on the characters throughout this story. Okay. So even though he's gone, he ain't gone. Mr. Cheaton. And he works at the school along with Betty. And he found himself needing lodging and approached Betty about procuring a room in her home. And Betty agreed, and Mr. Cheaton became the roommate and an intricate part of the family. So you will see Mr. Cheaton navigate the dating world and reveal his true self to those he loves and their reactions. And then there is Uncle Harry. Uncle Harry is Sunil's brother who lives in America. And Uncle Harry and family is who Solo stays with while in America. Uncle Harry is delighted to have time with Solo. He doesn't get along with Betty, and they have had some squabbles filled with insults and accusations about Sunel being taken from the family and how Solo was being taken from Betty by going to America. So they had some family tension, disagreements, and squabbles. Uncle Harry had children of his own that were also present in the story. Uncle Harry, he seemed kind of like the guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that knows every guy. Uncle Harry was very inviting. It was almost as though Uncle Harry treated Solo as an extension of his brother and one of his children. Dee Dee and Gloria, who are Betty's friends, and they like to gamble and lime and often drag Betty along with them. So they're kind of side characters, but they kind of give a little bit of comedic relief at times. So this story is primarily giving us an inside look into the lives of these characters. Like I said, Betty is getting her life back after raising her child and navigating just, I would say, empty nest syndrome. She's having to figure out the next phase of her life without having her son as the center of her world. And Mr. Cheaton was an intricate part of the family since he became the roommate in the home. He had to navigate also kind of like empty nest syndrome because he was in the home and he was there for a good portion of Solo's upbringing. So he had a little bit of parental empty nest syndrome as well, and navigating dating life and just living in his truth. I'll put it that way. And Solo, we see him trying to become a young man in a strange land. He has a rift with his mother, Betty. We see the emotional toll that plays on both parties. And so it's kind of really the crux of this story. And so there are some warnings to give. There is domestic violence described. There is self-harming behaviors. There is same-sex sexual encounters described. There is a suicidal act and murder involved in this story, and burial process that may be unsettling. There are no discussion questions in the book, which I wish the author would have put some in there. It would have been helpful to see what the author wanted us to get out of this story, other than the obvious. There are some topics of discussion that you could have. The conversation on how different countries and religions address same-sex relationships. Converse about the dynamics of parenthood. Do you think Betty should have came to America despite Solo's protest? Do you think Betty and Mr. Cheaton had a chance at a relationship beyond friendship? Do you believe alcohol takes a person out of character or just reveals the true character of a person? Do you believe Solo was right in his response to finding out Betty's secret? Why or why not? And what do you think Solo should have done regarding his experience since coming to America? So these are just a few to get the conversation going. After you read the book, I'm sure you'll be able to like converse even further and deeper. These questions are kind of just grazing the surface of where this conversation could go. Like I said, I was absolutely heated within the first few pages of this story. I was like, Sunil has to go. The husband got to go. And at times I felt, how much longer do we have to go with this book? I mean, I believe that feeling was partly by the way it was written. It's written in how I suspect they speak in Trinidad. And at times I had to pause and decipher a meaning. Like, what was that? What do they mean by that? I empathize with Betty. She did the best she could in protecting and caring for her child. Okay. And in most cases, children often only see their parents with tunnel vision and often persecute them for what they don't fully understand. And I believe that that was the case here. So I think Solo just was set on his perspective and he did not want to listen to Betty's perspective of things that transpired, which I believe caused a lot of missed time. Um, and so you will definitely have to read this book to find out all the details about what went on with these people. You will go through a few emotions while reading this book. I mean, we're taking on this journey, and it was definitely a long way around the mulberry bush. But there were some very intense moments. There was some very heartfelt moments. There was some oh snaps that didn't just happen moments. I did cry at the end of the story, and you're gonna have to read the book. And if you cry too, let me know so I know I'm not the only cry baby out here. So I believe the story was well written. But as I said, there was a small drawback with how they spoke. And yeah, it was a tad bit drawn out. I think they could have shortened it just a little bit. The storyline was good overall, though. I did enjoy the book. It did take me a little bit longer, but overall, it was enjoyable. I did give this book a 7.5 out of 10. Okay. So, if you haven't read the book, go get it. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you have read the book, comment your thoughts as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully I can get a few more of these done, here soon because I have been reading. I've been turning the pages, y'all. I really have. I've written up what I'm going to say for those books. I just have not sat down to do the video. So hopefully I will get that all done and be rolling those out. So you will have some more books to put on your to be read list. And yeah, so thanks so much for tuning in. Go ahead, click that subscribe button, the like, the share, tell your friends, come on over. I think there's over 150 videos to like go through. So scroll on through and see what piques your interest. As always, you can always comment on any of the videos, no matter how long ago it was posted. Those do come to my phone, so I do see those. I also will be making a video to respond to the comments and all of that good stuff here pretty soon. So even though I don't or haven't actually responded to the comment in the comments, there will be a response coming. Subscribe so you can get your shout out. Go ahead and comment so then I can respond to your comment and you can get a shout out that way too. And so that's it for this round. And as always, until next time, keep turning the pages, my book lovers.